devastating seeing your loved one decline, their life stolen from them basically.
You lose your memory, you lose your ability to speak, you lose your ability to stand.
I might wake up tomorrow with symptoms. The biggest struggle is how many healthy years do I have left?
Huntington's is a condition that stops part of the brain from working properly. It gets worse over time and is usually fatal after a period of up to 20 years. There are currently around 8,000 people in the UK with this genetic disorder, with a further 32,000 at risk. And for anyone living with or caring for someone with the disease, it can be very distressing. Thankfully, there's a charity called Huntington's Disease Association who, for over 50 years, have been supporting families affected by the illness. Charlotte from Teesside was only 10 years old when she started caring for her late nan,
Cooked them off a bit, made them
and now cares for her mum, who also has Huntington's.
As a young person, it was incredibly hard to see my loved ones deteriorate and change. It takes an emotional toll. There were definitely breaking points for me as a young person. Obviously, my mum and my nan were going through their own struggles, and you don't necessarily want to make them concerned or worried.
Thanks. Can't even begin to explain how you don't want that mental stress on them the moment she wakes up. Because I know what it's like. You don't want that for them.
Charlotte also tested positive for Huntington's in 2023, meaning she will develop symptoms in the future like her mum and her nan.
I've seen my nan right to the end of her life. I'm now watching my mum go through those stages. Knowing that that's going to be me one day is quite terrifying, to be honest.
Huntington's disease is hereditary. This puts young people like Charlotte, who are at risk of developing the condition and end up caring for multiple relatives, under a lot of pressure. To ensure they're not overwhelmed by their caring roles and have adequate emotional support, the charity runs a variety of youth services. Charlotte's been supported by the charity for the past 8 years and recently attended one of their residential trips for young people affected by Huntington's.
I leave the residential feeling so full of hope and with a lot of skills to be able to tackle everything we go through with Huntington's disease. And I don't have to do things alone anymore, and that's incredibly uplifting.
You've got it, don't worry.
Feel less anxious because I know that she can reach out to people her age. It has changed her life. She has a sparkle there.
Symptoms of Huntington's disease can range from a loss of control of movement and severe mental health problems. But to help people overcome this, the charity offers both practical and emotional support services. Chris from Hitchin became symptomatic in 2017 whilst he was working full-time.
The slight tremors in my feet and my hands were becoming more vivid. My recollection, my ability to recall and recount things was slowing down. The biggest fear was losing my job.
Chris reached out to the charity's support advisors, who visited his workplace to educate them on the condition and advocate for changes to be made to help him stay in work longer.
The place I was working extended my contract by 6 months. Having somebody who was going in and advocating on my behalf, it just took all that anxiety away.
By 2018, Chris had declined to a point where work was impossible, which had a big impact on his mental health.
I always used to think I was a provider for the family, but actually you take that away, it's most useless I've ever felt.
Hi there, Chris.
Hi, Ray.
To help him through this tough period, Chris received one-to-one support from the charity's support advisors, as well as attending the charity's regular meetups for people affected by Huntington's.
It's the first time I'd ever been sort of in a social surrounding with other families with HD. It started to give me a bit of a sense of purpose, having that guidance and support, not just for me but for my daughters as well. It's just a huge comfort.
The harsh reality of Huntington's is that many like Chris will reach a point where they are unable to look after themselves and will require full-time care. Because the disease is rare, often people move to care homes that don't fully understand how to support those with the condition. This is why the Huntington's Disease Association do a lot of work by training and educating care home staff to make sure people receive the best care possible. Natalie and her mother Heather are both from Huddersfield.
I would say Mum suffers more with the cognitive side of Huntington's. She was severely anxious, really depressed. As Mum's illness progressed, she developed OCD. She stopped preparing food because she felt that everything made her hands sticky. She went right down to 6 stone 2. It's devastating seeing your loved one decline like that.
Because of the severity of Heather's deterioration, the family decided to move her to a local care home.
When Mum went into the care home, they didn't really know how to handle her anxiety outbursts. She was quite hard to handle at that time. You know, the symptoms of the illness was making her that way.
Through discussions with the charity's support advisor, Natalie made the decision to move her mum to a new care home, one where staff had been trained by the charity in how to support patients with Huntington's.
They just seemed to know what to do, which was so assuring for us. She started to become happier. She was having less anxiety outbursts. She's almost, in a way, improved. It's nice to know that I can still enjoy the rest of the time that Mum's got left. We'll be forever grateful for the support the charity gives.
There's currently no cure for Huntington's disease or any way to stop it getting worse, which makes the work the charity does so very important. It's only with your support that they can continue to help families who are struggling with the condition. So please do give what you can. To find out more, visit the charity's website, www.hda.org.uk. Thank you.